Hi, Brittany Sharp here, and I'd like to talk to you guys about the NACA program. So, as many of you may or may not know, you are talking to Brittany Sharp, previously of Brittany Sharp Realty, connected to Realty One Group. I'm actually preparing to reactivate with a new organization, so I'll announce that later. But for now, I am skilled as a real estate agent, but I am not active right now. For now, when I started this video series. Yes, so what that means is, even as a real estate agent, since 2016, I wasn't super familiar with the NACA program. It's predominantly because that involves more of the financial or the lending side. However, I am skilled with purchasing homes here in the state of Nevada, buying and selling real estate. And now, what makes my story a little interesting for this series is I am participating as a home buyer, as a future home buyer. I like that. So if you're interested in following my journey, stay tuned. Just some tidbits. The NACA program, for those that are unfamiliar, is called the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. It is an organization that helps people with, AKA, the best mortgage in America. But it does way more than that. There are plenty of benefits with participating with the program. It was actually birthed from activism. So the program actually, or the founder, coined the term predatory lending and has continued to fight the good fight with bringing awareness of what I consider rights and privileges with home ownership. As many of you may or may not know, home ownership was something not afforded to all cultures and backgrounds. So now that we are here, the fight continues. And just to go over a few of the benefits, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my process so far. Some of the benefits with participating or purchasing a home via the NACA program: no minimum credit score. That, and I'm going to come back, I'm going to actually add some tidbits on how that how that plays a role. No additional fees. You don't have to come up with down payment costs. You don't have to come up with closing costs. Again, I'll come back to that. And you also benefit from having a lower interest rate. So below market rates. Right now in 2022, rates are like, at least a portion of the news. They're going up, they're going up, they're going up. By the time you're seeing this video, they may be in a different space by this point, but I will let you know. One tip or thought I want you to consider, even with the interest rates, and also the fact that, again, the NACA program, you don't have to come up with the closing costs, down payment, your minimum, you don't have a minimum credit score. I can't talk. You don't have to have a minimum credit score. Is that if you do choose to participate with a down payment assistance program, or several, because you can do several, you can actually use those funds toward buying down your interest rate with the NACA program, on top of it already being below market. So with that being said, credit scores required for particular home buying down payment assistance programs and grants, you would have to meet and adhere to those guidelines, whereas others, may not. So I definitely recommend finding out what down payment assistance programs you may qualify for, even with the NACA program, because although you're not required to have a down payment, you can benefit from having down payment assistance and funds or money saved up. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about my story. I met with actually, let me back up. Okay. Found out about the program, wanted to get more information about it. I have had a few clients, real estate clients, that were mentioning the program. I'm like, let me get more educated about it, because I will be purchasing a home. So signed up for the first step, which is the NACA workshop. The initial workshop, they let you know that you can anticipate being on that workshop call for about 4 hours. And for me, it was about 4 and some change. And you stay on the call because not only is it educational and informative, but it also, they give you your NACA ID number after you've completed the entire call. So you have to make sure you're, completing it and everything like that. I will say that I was impressed personally with the speaker. She was very educated in it. And I believe in the area that I'm in, she was instrumental in expanding NACA to my area. So I thought that was really cool and it felt really relevant to me. Quick pause. If you've done research on NACA, on the reviews, you may have been like me, where you've seen a whole lot of good reviews, but you've also seen some bad ones, and you're like, what? How? I believe that customer service is one of the complaints that I've heard personally, and I'm going to tell you my own experience. It doesn't take away from anyone else's. You guys continue to do your research just like I am. But in my experience, the workshop speaker was amazing. The volunteer moderators in the workshop, for the most part, were nice, except one. And sorry, y'all, this is bothering me. I say they did a good job of answering questions or referring people back, but there was one particular one that was very rude. I did not like the way that she was speaking to people. Was very, very rude. So I kind of understood a little taste of both sides of those reviews, but I can say overall, I left the call feeling inspired, feeling motivated, feeling encouraged, and like I have some new tools and support in learning more about the home buying process. So I'm excited about that. So had my workshop August 20th, 2022, just so you can get a gauge on time frames. September 29th, okay. When I got off the workshop, I got my ID. What I didn't want to do was let a million years go by and I didn't do what I needed to do or upload what I needed to upload to get the ball rolling. So even as a real estate agent, I tried to educate and really instill in my clients, let's keep the ball in the other party's court. Meaning, if there is a delay or a holdup or anything, let it not be because they're waiting on us to submit some documents. As soon as we're asked for things, let's submit it as quickly as possible. You guys don't mind the plane. It's all good. So I, took that approach, and I'm like, I already spent 4.5 hours here. I might as well go ahead and submit whatever documents I can submit so we can get this thing rolling. Okay. So I did. I submitted as much as I could in the next 24 or 48 hours, and went ahead and went online, scheduled my first intake appointment, September 29th. So literally a little over a month was my intake appointment. And again, back to those reviews, I've heard, oh, my, intake person is this or that, or whatever the case is. My experience so far, my intake specialist was great. She was also, again, encouraging, supportive. She spoke really well. She articulated well, but she also took that extra step with emotional intelligence to say encouraging things. And of all people, being a real estate agent, or if anyone's a hairstylist or a barber, or anywhere where you turn into a therapist, you understand that home ownership is one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your life. One of the expensive ones, outside of babies. And the psychological aspect of saying, you know what, I can do this. I do deserve this. Like that self-talk is so imperative, and it holds a lot of people up. So I am an encouraging real estate agent. And my intake specialist is an encouraging intake specialist. So between the two of us, I'm really confident. I'm really optimistic. I have submitted most of the requirements that are needed in my intake from my last intake appointment for my next one. I don't have the funds saved that I'm supposed to, but we're working on that. And I definitely have knocked down a lot of the list. So I'm very, very grateful. In my next video, I'm going to touch really quickly on some things related to if you've experienced something similar to me, and that is credit theft and tax fraud. I can give you some tools and things that I've used and what I've been doing to kind of clear that up, but it definitely affects you. So these are all experiences in my journey. And again, Brittany Sharp Realty. some announcements are coming soon. Thanks for sitting through the video. Subscribe and whatever I'm supposed to say. Comment.